Alright, extra long episode today because we're going to try and get through 4 separate runs that all involve the Cardinalfish. Now, Cardinalfish is a unit that I was pretty concerned about on the test server. Originally it was able to take pets on the opposing side down to 1 attack, which made for some extremely frustrating battles as you sat through lots of pets with 1 attack bashing into each other over and over. Thankfully, one of the other testers came up with a really good idea to fix that. So now the Cardinalfish caps at, I think it's 5 or maybe it's 6. I guess we'll see it happen at some point in this run. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to put the ability graphic on screen, but we're going to see so much Cardinalfish gameplay in this run that by the end of the video, you're definitely going to know how the ability works. Essentially, it just removes attack from every single pet, including your own pets. So kind of like the opposite of Armadillo, which gives every pet health. So we get the Cardinalfish here, and we're going to take the Foo Dog as well, because that will give extra health to any Cardinalfish that we get in the future. And most of the teams that I was trying to set up with this unit all involved taking tier 5s and 6s as well. Although this pack actually had all of the attack reduction pets in it. So you can see we have the wolf, forgotten what it's called. Is it this red wolf guy? What's the name of this? Ethiopian wolf, I think it is. And then I also had a goose, although obviously it wasn't going to be relevant for very many turns. I had Anubis as well in the hope that maybe the wolf ability would be able to be improved by repeating it, but it's not very good. So at least it's not very good beyond the first couple of turns. So yeah, we've also got a Meerkat for attack gain. So we can play Cardinalfish, remove attack from everything, and then the Meerkat gives the attack back as long as we get the order correct. And we can easily get the order right by using churros on the Cardinalfish. So looks like I'm going to replace the Snapping Turtle with Tar. Kind of weird when you think about it that it's a tier down, and yet I still think it's better than Snapping Turtle. And for some reason I'm taking the Tamarin there. I guess maybe I just want a little bit of extra stats onto the Cardinalfish before I buy it. Looks like we're going to win here, yep. And I was definitely trying to rush to a quick victory with this squad because it really wasn't going to be good long term. Although some of the other squads that we're going to look at later in the video will be a bit better. So now the Cardinalfish is level 2, but the Meerkat's going to go first, so we're going to lose some of the attack that we actually gained from the Meerkat as we face Vulture Guy, but luckily we have the Tar to replace the weakness. Well, maybe it's not actually going to make any difference because of the Parrot. Yeah, it looks like we're in big trouble still. So level up on the Wolf. We do find Stego as well, which is another great option with Cardinalfish because it has very low starting attack, which means it's going to go off after the Cardinalfish and give us a big stat boost after everyone's lost some stats on the other side. Unfortunately, the stats went to the Tar. I would much rather they went to the Wolf, but I guess we can manipulate that going forward if we... actually, man, we lost that battle as well. That was painful. I wonder if that was purely because the Tar ended up getting the stats from the Stego. But yeah, we can manipulate the attack order and try and make this setup a bit better. I don't remember if I get the churros in this run or not. There were lots of runs where that didn't happen. But it looks like we're going to be fine here. The Stego giving the buffs to the correct unit this time. So level 2 Meerkat. I also want to get level 3 Cardinalfish as well, since all the new pets I won't have the achievements, so we might as well do it. Yeah, there we go, the first time getting level 3 Cardinalfish. Very big looking scaling team, but look how devastating that is, all the attack getting removed. It makes the melon kind of irrelevant as well, which you love to see. Probably I should just buy this chili to make sure that one of these units doesn't get the buffs from the stego, but maybe I'm just looking for churros to try and make the cardinalfish go first. I definitely had a lot of attempts at this, and as you can see, we're just going to pass up the chocolate, looking for churros. We don't get it. Maybe I should have added some more attack foods into the pack so I could deliberately control the attack that way. But on turn 14, we feel pretty confident here that this is a solid squad. However, we do face this team here, which looks pretty strong. Rollaway Monkey produces double porcupine when I have chili, which is brutal, although it looked like we didn't actually need to take the damage from the second porcupine. Yeah, no question we're going to lose. But 3 hearts, so we still have some chances. Yeah, definitely put the baguette on the tar now, because we don't want it getting the stego buffs, and we find the churros. So now the meerkat attack won't be wasted. And then look at this squad. I think there's actually a bit of a blunder here. They've got peanut, which they give to the worm, but then the walrus replaces it with with peanut butter, which is obviously worse. I think that might have actually saved me there. Next game, and we've got a very similar looking starting position with the Ethiopian wolf and the foo dog. We get the cardinalfish on turn 7 again. But this time we're going to try and play a different squad. I don't remember exactly what this final squad is going to look like in this one. We do have 4 different cardinalfish variations in this video. So hopefully we'll cover a lot of the different possibilities that I was playing for. So we're going to win here. Now, there were a few other things that I was considering in terms of partner pets for the cardinalfish. I think it's a unit that initially I didn't think there were going to be that many ways to use it other than just, the hurt pets, where you're farming lots of attacks. But I think I had hardly any hurt pets at all in this pack, and I was deliberately trying to go for teams where I was really just manipulating the stats and the order of activations. I think that's a bit more satisfying than, Camel or Triceratops getting tons of triggers, although we will do a hurt build at the very end, I think. So I also had Egyptian Vulture in here. I kind of wanted to use that with Ethiopian Wolf, but it's just not very good. Yeah, looks like we're going to go for it here. I'm not sure if I end up keeping this all the way or if it just gets replaced with something else. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, obviously we can reduce their attack even further by triggering the Ethiopian wolf, but it's so poor. It just doesn't do enough. Although we are going to scrape a tie here. I guess having Egyptian Vulture and Anubis in the same pack give me multiple options to try and make this happen. Although now that I'm watching this back, I'm wondering if this is going to end up... Yeah, because we're on turn 10. We have 4 hearts, 5 trophies. So we're in a reasonable spot. But I feel like at some point here, I'm definitely going to get rid of the Egyptian Vulture or convert it into something else. I definitely don't remember any good runs with the Egyptian Vulture in the team, which isn't surprising. We do get double activation on the Ethiopian Wolf. We're going to win. So maybe I'm being needlessly pessimistic here. Maybe we are going to get everything set up. And of course I'm freezing the blue whale because I just want to transform it into something else and use the big stat line. So we get the Water of Youth. And there's a stego as well. Yeah, so maybe I am just going to sell this stuff and pivot into something else. We also need to get the churros on the cardinalfish. That's going to be a common thread in most of these runs, I think. Yeah, so we take the blue whale and we'll transform it into something else and get Winter Spirit. And it looks like I'm just going to go for the cardinalfish level up. And yeah, definitely take stego over Nurukabe. Obviously you would just sell the Ethiopian wolf normally, but because I was trying to get the silly combo going, we're going to keep it. One downside of reducing the Egyptian vulture's attack is obviously the fact that it's much less likely to immediately get a KO and trigger the ability of the pet behind. But it seems like it's going to be fine here. And level 2 Cardinalfish would have been some more sensible to go for level 2 Stego, but I just want to get the Cardinalfish to level 3 again. This run may well have happened before the other run where I got the level 3. So there we go, we find the Churros, and we also get level 2 Stego, I guess, if we want it. And I think maybe this is where this run is going to start to change dramatically. I think I'm starting to remember it now. Because we're racing towards the point where we're very close to winning. And I did have one particular team in mind that I wanted to try, and then I've got this shop with all of this stuff frozen. So maybe I'm going to go for it now. And I think it involves just selling out of the front 3 units. Here we go. Am I going to do it? Yeah, this was probably the point where I was I felt like the chance of a win with Egyptian Vulture was so close, but also I've bought the baguette onto it, so the Stego can't give it any buffs, which is maybe a bit of a blunder. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for Cardinalfish and Stego only for the final team. And yeah, we'll just buy these oysters, take the other Stego. And I also want churros as well, yep. So look at that, that was a perfect turn. And now, as long as we don't lose any of our units that don't have perks, we should get a ton of stats after the opponent's team has been absolutely decimated by the attack reduction. So works out pretty well here by the looks of it. In fact, we get lucky breaking the white ochre with the low attack Stego. There is gingerbread there, but I think it would maybe be a bit of a waste, because then there's only 2 targets for 3 Stegos. So I think I'm just going to combine them together, and then we can go for... actually here, this is a mistake, because I can't really take either of these. Yeah. Because the pet that receives the perk from the toy wouldn't be able to receive any buffs from the Stegos. And then we find another Stego in the shop, so we're just going to combine them together, and then I think I'm just going to accept that the other Cardinalfish is going to go last. Absolute nightmare buy-sell team on turn 15, so we're going to get completely destroyed here. But we still have loads of hearts. Oh, looks like I'm going to re-watch that one. Oh, it's because, yeah, I wasn't quite sure what had happened there, but it was because the Cardinalfish with Churros got sleepy, so that meant that it counted as perkless, which meant that the Stego buffs didn't get concentrated at the front. I think I was going to lose there anyway. So now I'm just rolling down for another Churros. Try to get exactly the team that I want. Probably going for 3 Cardinalfish here is greeding a bit much. But again, we're going to get destroyed by a buy-sell squad. In fact, they launched a mantis off the screen there, which is pretty rude. One step closer to level 3 Stego. Although maybe at this point we don't really even need the level 3 anymore. And then this is an actually beatable looking team. Lots of people playing Geometric Tortoise plus Tiger. And they actually have permanent coconut on the gorilla as well. And we just lose by 4 HP on the Amargasaurus at the back. Alright, that was a bit unfortunate. I can remember playing that game now and thinking when I saw that last team that I was going to win, but the Geometric Tortoise just did too much damage. Now here's RevGT's alter ego, playing some Elk plus tier 1. No comment. Looks like we're just going to scrape a tie. Fellow Churros enjoyer. Yeah, so I think almost all of these games I had Ethiopian Wolfie, and if I ended up getting rid of it because I was taking it every time just to make sure that if I ended up getting the Anubis set up, then I would have the faint pet ready to go. So here we take the Doberman, and I'm going to transfer the stats from the Ethiopian Wolf onto the Doberman, and then get rid of the lower tier units so that Doberman's ability will actually go off. And then I guess here we just have to take Snapping Turtle because it was the only tier 5 we rolled at the end. Unfortunately, another Bakunawa immediately. Actually very, very close to getting a tie anyway. But again, we have a little bit of leeway in terms of hearts. We can also use this Snapping Turtle level up to find another tier 6, but it looks like I'm not going to do that. Much weaker looking team here. They've probably spent a long time rolling for pill in order to get those monkeys. So Doberman into the team, take the level up. Maybe I should have done that in a different order, but it doesn't really matter too much since we do find the Stego which we need. And there's the Cardinalfish. So next turn I can actually just get rid of the Snapping Turtle and bring Cardinalfish in and get it instant level 2'd. So the premise here is that we want the Cardinalfish to go first, and then after the fact, Doberman is going to gain its attack as we barely lose again. And Coconut, and hopefully that should give us a good chance of sweeping the rest of their squad. So I should just take the level up on the Alpaca here so I can then buy the Stego. Yep. Because we could end up getting another Stego next turn on that level up. And now you can see the combo working. Everything loses its stats, loses its attack rather, and then the Doberman regains a pretty high amount of attack. Doberman is one of those units that's a little bit strange because once you've scaled it up, the ability gaining attack kind of ceases to matter because you're maxing out already. But when it's at a lower level, the attack gain can really make a difference. So here we get level 3 Stego and level 2 Stego on turn 13, which is pretty nasty. And then the Alpaca can go now that we have everything set up. So there you can see with the Mantis Shrimp removing the Coconut actually resulted in the Doberman getting to 50-50 because the Stego targeted it. We can of course prevent that from happening if we put another perk on the Doberman, but I don't really mind too much if it goes up to 50-50 since we're pretty heavily reliant on it to get the win. Although I guess, to be honest, even if the Stegos spread out the stats here, we should be in pretty good shape. Don't find what I'm looking for. Honestly, I don't really know if I was just looking for more Cardinalfish here or not. It could have been that I was looking for more Stegos. Maybe that previous run had given me the taste for it. And of course here I made a complete blunder because I bought a tier 4, forgetting that that was going to stop Doberman's ability going off. But because we got the Stego high roll so quickly, we still scraped the win. That would have been really embarrassing to lose that round and therefore the game based on that mistake. So we're not going to do that again. We just need to make sure that we find a tier 5 or 6. I guess I could have taken Tiger there and put the Tiger behind the Cardinalfish because I assume Tiger will work based on the Churros as well. So we would have had double Cardinalfish activation before Doberman. But again, you can see how well this works when everything goes off in the correct order and the combo doesn't get interfered with. Another Stego, so presumably here I'm just going to take the level up. Yeah, we can get rid of the Luska, which was just there for moral support. There's a Nurikabe, we might as well take that. Yep, and we can get level 3 Doberman next turn if we feel like it, just in case the Stegos happen to miss it. Pretty big scaled up team here, but Doberman with Coconut is just so strong. And the stake ended up getting wasted. So I might as well just take the level 3 here. I guess I'm just rolling for Cardinalfish. I really just want to have more than one, but it's not going to happen in this particular game. I mean, I could sell Nurikabe and sell the Oyster here, but the chances of finding a finding what I want on the next roll are pretty low. So here the Doberman doesn't actually get any buffs, but the bat ended up wiping the churros at the back, and so the Cardinalfish 50-50 claims the victory. Alright, how many more games do I have where it's turn 7 and I have Ethiopian Wolf and Foo Dog? I guess that really just shows you how many times I actually played this pack in order to try and get the runs that I wanted. Now, this particular combo that we're going to look at, which is going to be the last one, was so much easier to try and set up than the others. It's weird sometimes where you're grinding for a particular combo and you feel like it's impossible, and then you just make some slight concessions, and or you add some stronger pets to your pack, and suddenly it becomes way easier, as we'll find out pretty soon. Okay, yeah, kind of a blunder here because I want to keep the pill and the churros, but we take the moose, so yeah, I shouldn't have done that if I wanted to keep those items. I could have tried to roll and make sure that there weren't any tier 1s in the shop, but not really worth it. We'll just accept the fact that we don't get those 2 foods, and not surprisingly lose the next turn. So now I can sell the stoat and we get the level 2 Cardinalfish immediately and another stego, but we're going piranha this time instead. I did promise it was going to be a hurt build earlier. So there's the churros. Not sure we're going to get any of the other units that we need on this particular turn. Obviously, I was also thinking here about selling the betta fish, which we do, and we get the woodpecker, which we need for the team, but unfortunately a bit too late. I think I could have actually rolled once more there, but so unsurprisingly we're going to instantly lose there. That puts us down to 1. But then there's a woodpecker in the next shop and I roll past it. That was so bad. After getting the bad luck on the previous turn. And then you look at this team and you think, how on earth does this survive on turn 10, is it? Or is it 11? Turn 10. But because we reduced the attack, we're going to get loads of triggers on the piranha. And actually the cobra ability is incredibly weak when you reduce it down in terms of attack stat. So we actually win. We don't just tie, we win. And unfortunately some of the buffs did get wasted on the moose in the previous turn, but we find the woodpecker. I think I take the moose level up here, hoping to get another piranha. Or maybe I'm going to wait till next turn. Okay, we're going to wait and double up on the buffs. Unfortunately, it does hit the other moose. Although I guess they're going to get combined together, so it doesn't matter too much. But piranha plus woodpecker in this context is so good. You know, we're removing attack from their team, and then we're regaining a huge amount of attack on our team. And because of the churros, the woodpecker is always going to go after the Cardinalfish. So although this maybe looks a little bit gimmicky, it's actually incredibly strong, I think. And if I'd probably played the early game a bit better, you know, we wouldn't have had to take those types of risks to get this team set up. But look at all the attack go flying when you have double piranha as well. And then we're just going to be able to punch through the units at the back of this squad. Moose is becoming the solution to a lot of problems recently for me, and I think Rev as well, where you know you're trying to make a team work, and you maybe just don't have many spaces for scalers. Generally, I don't have space in a team to take more than one scaler, especially once you get past the early game. But Moose being able to funnel health to the rest of your team can make such a huge difference. Especially if you get it to level 2 quickly. Because a lot of the time, the most fragile teams, all you care about is your units surviving the start of battle so that you can actually see the combo go off. And we're definitely going to be able to do that here once we... I mean, I guess there are teams that are going to be able to wipe us at start of battle, but generally speaking, you don't see too many teams like that anymore. or at least at the moment, since white ochre has been added, you're not going to see the bats and manticores that much anymore. I do expect white ochre will get changed at some point to not be quite so strong. But for now, there aren't as many ailment teams on the go as there were. So even though we're on 1 heart, we're kind of cruising towards victory here. Probably should have just taken the baguette there on the front piranha. But I guess I wanted to get the level 3 Cardinalfish again. Plenty of extra health. Probably not going to be necessary. And then we get matched with this free-to-play opponent that has level 3 Coconut Crab. But the Coconut Crab's attack has been reduced. So the Woodpecker is actually going to be able to attack it 4 times without getting knocked out. And we claim the victory. Now, a little bit of a tradition, because I managed to win and I got the video recorded against that free-to-play opponent, we're going to gift them a pack. Didn't see which one it was there. Was it Golden Pack? Yes. Not too often that you face a free-to-play only team that late. So I think it's nice to pay the favour forward when that does happen.